Well, for me, it started very early. So I grew up surrounded by academy grads. My grandfather had gone to West Point in the class of 1925. My father went to Annapolis, class of 50. I have an uncle who also graduated from Annapolis. And so I grew up thinking that the very best education one could get was at a service academy. But yet I wasn't interested in the dirt or ships. And what I wanted to do was fly airplanes. And it was very clear that the very best way, highest probability way to get to do that was to go to the Air Force Academy. So at 8th grade, I knew that's where I wanted to go. And I planned it out so that I could increase the chances I would be admitted. So I showed up at the academy thinking I was going to major in astronautical engineering and that it would really be fairly straightforward, just like high school was. And of course it wasn't. I mean, I figured out in 2 months that I was not going to be an astro major. I also figured out that I didn't develop the study habits that I should have as a high school student. I ended up having a very tough freshman year. I got C's. And I worked hard to get those. But I was able to change my study habits, develop organizational habits that have served me to this day and do quite a bit better in my subsequent years. You know, the whole academy philosophy, which is to break down the habits and the ways of looking at things when we first enter. The military, and particularly the academy, forces one to think as a member of a unit, to participate with others, to do what it takes to get along. And that is a skill that I learned that many civilian kids never really get put in the situation to develop. And for me, that has something I've seen that's differentiated about academy grads, and has certainly helped me. After I went to the academy, I did have the chance to go on to pilot training and got selected to fly fighter jets, which was absolutely my goal from the time I was 12 years old. You know, my family background is really the military, and so I thought I would be a career military officer. And it really wasn't until several years out flying airplanes that I was curious to see a different side of the world, of life. And you know, I literally took a chance. I wrote some applications to business school in one night. I said, I will apply to the 3 best business schools. If I get in, it's a sign, I'll go. And if I don't, that's fine. I'll stay in the Air Force and I'll continue to serve. And I was fortunate to get admitted to Stanford. And the rest of it has been somewhat luck, somewhat happenstance in terms of investment banking and then venture capital. I've been fortunate to have success in my business career, but I will tell you what I value most is having a great reputation for doing the right thing at the right time to everyone that I work with. My parents gave me a moral compass that served me well, and I had it when I showed up at the academy, and the academy instilled those values even more deeply. And I follow them to this day. You know, reflecting back, I would tell you that I don't think consciously about those values. It has become second nature in a sense in terms of thinking through tough business decisions at times, getting along with other people, and I do use those as guidelines for what is the right thing to do. And that has served me very well. I've had some tough decisions to make at times, and thinking through it from the perspective of the academy community, I think, has helped me. It's as if I have my classmates standing around behind me overlooking what I'm going to do, and I want to be sure it reflects appropriately. What difference does the academy make in my life? You know, it has made all the difference, as near as I can tell. It both gave me a chance to learn personal skills, to get exposed to wonderful leadership examples, to have such tremendous adventures in the 3 careers that I have been able to have as a fighter pilot, as a Wall Street banker, and now as a venture capital investor. I am confident I would have never had all of those experiences if I hadn't gone to the Academy. And to steal the words from General Steve Lorenz, I'm a debtor, and I've always considered myself that since I graduated. And being a debtor means looking for an opportunity to give back in my time and energy and contributing to different programs. And I get tremendous satisfaction out of doing that and being able to do that. And I plan to continue that for as long as I am able. I am particularly proud of how far the endowment has come and grown in the last several years. In fact, if I reflect on how the Academy skyline has changed since 1978 when I graduated, the skyline is virtually the same, except for two new buildings in that skyline: the Holiday Athletic Center and the Center of Character and Leadership Development, which are the two major projects the endowment has undertaken. I am proud to have played a part in contributing those new facilities to the Academy and making the experience better for our cadets and our future cadets. I would like to thank the Academy for the role it's played, for all of the values that it gave me, for the education it gave me, for the opportunity it gave me to have three very interesting careers so far. I would thank my parents as well. My parents, who of course were affiliated with the military, as my father was a career naval officer. I'm very grateful and proud of my parents, proud of my dad especially for what he went through. I'm very grateful to the endowment and what the endowment has given me in terms of a chance to serve and contribute through that group back to the Academy. I would say thanks to my wife, Joni, who was an Air Force nurse when I met her as a young lieutenant, and she has been the perfect partner for me. She has guided, supported me, and she's been a fantastic co-contributor back to the Academy, and I'm very grateful for that. So to all my classmates in the class of '78, '78 is indeed great. Thank you all.